Hey, me ducks, it's Simon here. How are we doing? It's lovely to see so many people here for an impromptu live chat. So yeah, I was having a bit of a panic moment because I've got a brand new MacBook. I don't know if the quality is any better. It should be, because I think the camera, the built-in camera, is a higher grade. But I went to go live, and of course it didn't recognize me on StreamYard, and so then I just went through Google and it said you don't have the right version, you've got to download Chrome. I was like, and then when I saved the bookmark, as I do, and clicked it, it came up with 404 error, and it said no stream. I was like, oh. Then it went, go to homepage, which I did, and it was there. And that's the thing, isn't it? When you have a new PC or a new laptop, MacBook, whatever it is, you've got to start over again with so many things that you don't realize. Lesson number 1, don't save things to your desktop. Because I restored factory settings on my old one. The good thing is I've got a one at work, so I'm hoping everything will still be on that one because they sync across. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, modern technology and all that it's always good fun, and it's great. It's really super duper swanky. It even has predictive text on the keyboard and light up touch buttons and things, so it's all new fandangled. It just takes a while to get used to it, doesn't it? I'm really hot. Before I say hello, and I run the risk of there being too many people here, I just need some water. It's currently 80 degrees. I know that's not hot for lots of places around the world, but for little old Blighty, it's hot and we're not used to it. So let's do some hellos then. Wow, so many. So Stephanie was in first. Hello, Stephanie. And then we've got Lucy V. We've got Orshi. And we've got Scott. Hello, Scott. I'm getting used to your channel name now. And we have Shauna. Hello, Shauna. Sarah. Ashley. Long-time subscriber, but this is my first time catching a live. Well, welcome, Ashley. It's nice to have you here. And that's what happens, I guess, sometimes, just not doing scheduled lives where people are working and know they can't always meet it. I keep touching my glasses a lot because I'm very slippery. Well, that sounds awful, doesn't it? Jamie, hello, Jamie. And Caveman, hello, my friend. Hello from Canada. Tanji, hello, Tanji. And we've got the Barefoot Pagan. Kim, hello, Kim. Our Chris, how you doing, Chris? Lots of people chatting to each other. Joanne. You lot was having a good old natter. Nancy, Maddie. I don't want to miss anybody out, but there's MA and Lisa. Becoming the Crone. Hello, nice to meet you. And Jackie. Hello, Jackie. How you doing? We have June. Hello, June. How lovely to see you. Wow, I didn't know if you'd be up yet. You're an early riser. Michelle, my belle. Michelle, my belle. That takes me back. Sounds like Mercury retrograde in action. It hasn't been too bad, I suppose. We've got Merrick. Hello, Merrick. Good to see you again. Anne, Lisa, Inked Witchy Girl, Tammy Pie. Hello, Tammy Pie. Sonia, Laurie, Donna. Hello, Donna. Robin. Everybody's doing okay. So the reason, as I said, at the moment, I can't I can't commit to regular scheduled lives just because of how life is at the moment. And there's a Facebook user saying hello as well. It just says Facebook user because your name's not linked. But 106 here yesterday. Wow, 106. And another hi from the Facebook users are people that's in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. So this is streaming on YouTube and the Hermit's Cave Facebook group simultaneously. So yeah, I couldn't commit, but I did say I'll try and pop on whenever time allows. And our Deanne normally from Blue Crescent Tarot does a live on a Sunday afternoon. But yesterday she put out that she wasn't really able to do one. So I checked with her a couple of hours ago and just said, look, thinking of popping on this afternoon, but have you changed your mind? If you're going live, let me know. And she said, no, I can't go live today. So I've jumped on to fill that gap, really. And I just thought I'd talk to you about a few little bits. I've had a couple, well, you've probably seen from the week, I've had quite a few decks and things arrived. And then I was thinking about a particular deck that I have ordered, which I'll share with you, that I've not opened yet, that I saw on Sandra's channel from the Whispering Well. And for some reason, I'd missed it. And if you need to catch me, guys, just pop it in capitals or tag me, just so I can have a look. But yeah, I was on YouTube about 2 weeks ago, I think, something like that. No, it was just after we got back from the seaside. And it came up suggested for you. You get the suggested videos. And it was a Whispering Well video. And I thought, well, I must have missed it then, because it doesn't suggest videos that you've already seen. It suggests ones that you haven't seen. Hi, Elaine. Nice to see you. Let me just check which Elaine. There's two Elaines. And now I can't. Oh, yes, it's Elaine. Tarot Tats and Tea with Elaine. Nice to see you. And it was this deck. Now, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but it is Tarot of the Three Gods or something like that, translated. Bear with. He rushes to grab his phone because I did take some notes. Like everything else, you forget to bring things with you as you hit the live button. Oh, I'm in a Facebook group. That's what I had for lunch. Where is it? The thing that I took a picture of. Here we go. Yeah, so it translates. It's by Fournier, and I've got a few Fournier, and I really like Fournier decks. It keeps giving you video suggestions you've already watched. Oh, wow. I quite like the suggested for you because it reminds me of things that I haven't seen, but I've never had a video suggested that I've already seen. So unless it's something in the settings, I don't know. But yeah, so Sandra showed this deck and I instantly loved it. And I thought, what a nice deck for summer because of the colours and everything. And it says, an ode to positive energy and joy. The god of the three is the artistic brand linked to Javier Navarro, who is dedicated to making murals, events, collaborations with brands, decoration, artwork, and illustration. The tarot of the god of the three aims to flood everything that it touches with its intrinsic and particular aesthetic universe, an ode to fantasy, colour, and show. A vibrant and urban visual I was doing so well. Cosmogony, giving our tarot energy, positivity, joy, and freedom. And I think it's called, I can't find any more information about that, but I think it's called God of the Three because it really blends. When you look at it, you'll see some Hindu influences. There's certainly some Egyptian influences in there. And I think the Japanese kind of culture, so maybe some Japanese Buddhist influences or Shinto, something like that. But it's wonderful. Now, Fournier decks are quite small as well. And where I always show, when I do walkthroughs of decks, I always use my little template, which is what I call the standard RWS size. It's probably a little bit RWS size, standard tarot size, which is from the RWS tarot. And it's probably a little bit bigger because I think US Games are a little bit generous with their card sizes. I think Llewellyn and Lo Scarabeo are perhaps a little bit narrower. But Fournier decks are really nice quality and they're quite small. And I get a lot of comments about, you know, I wish that the decks were a little bit smaller because I've got small hands. The one thing I don't like is when they do this, when they shut. I get why they do it because it can be annoying, particularly if you've got the book at the front trying to get the flaps in and everything. But that never leaves. Having the deck separated by the little white book randomly, it's easy to get it out, but it never really leaves it. So when you take the little white book out, and it's got the title cards in the middle, let me just make sure I've got them the right way. Yeah. You'll always see, it's going to prove me wrong now, isn't it? I can see it. I don't know how it will show there, but you see the line still. And no matter how many times you shuffle it, there's always like a gap where they've kind of bent around the book. And it's quite a thick, it's kind of like a folded book that's then just, you can open it out like that. But yeah, so this has to be one of the most colourful and vibrant decks. Robin says, I really like Fournier decks. Yes, so visible. I'm glad you could still see it. And I like Fournier decks. I think they're really good quality. They are quite dinky. This is the backs. I mean, look at that for the backs. And it's also the title card. So what's on the front of the box as well. I love the pink. Lots of pinks. And I'm thinking of perhaps edging it in pink. Let me give you a size comparison. So this is the Fournier deck. This is the standard RWS. Look at the difference. So in both height and width, there's quite a difference there. But a lot of people will like that. And it's quite cute to have, actually. A nice one to easily slip into a little. Those colours are fantastic. You wait till you see, Donna, the artwork. It's really, really nice. So I'm hoping with this new MacBook as well, that the camera is giving you pretty clear images, because the reason why, and I'm still going to use my iPhone for face down, but the reason why I do most of my videos now face down is because you get real good, sharp quality of the imagery. You can see the line work and things. And whenever I've showed them, and I know there's a light there because there's a ring light in front of me, whenever I've showed them on my lives, the quality, sharpness and clarity isn't as great. But that's not looking too bad looking back at it. So hopefully it's okay. I kind of dig that size. Yeah. Not that I want to eat a tiger, but the colours are yum. No, you don't want to eat tigers, Tanji. Yes, good clean images. Hello, Naomi, by the way. Just seeing you there. It is nice. The images are really nice. That's good. I'm pleased. Oh, between having aqua, little pandas, I bought that bottle for my mum when she was in hospital because she likes dandelion and burdock, but you're not allowed to leave them at the minute. So I took the dandelion and burdock in this, but I had to decant it into one of their beakers, and you can't leave things like that currently with coronavirus and stuff. So I could be the only one that touched it, poured it in. So I brought it home with me. But all right, so let's have a look at, and I believe it's, you know, with it being Fournier, I think it's Spanish. So I think the titles are in Spanish and English, which is quite easy. But here is our fall. So you get the number at the top, and then you get the image, and then at the bottom it says El Loco or Loco, the fall. Must be Loco. Going loco down in Acapulco. Going foolish. But look at the fool's face. And look, his head is in the back of the. It's almost like the tiger has took his head off and carrying it. Yes, Loco. Yeah, I thought it was. Love the magician card. And there's so many pinks and purples, which for me is a wonderful combination. I think of all the colour combinations, pinks and purples together are my favourite. And they really are in keeping with the backs. So if I was to edge it in pink, the only problem is on the front, we've got a white border. I'd have loved, the same pink border on both sides. That would have been really nice. But look at that magician. So that is very sort of Hindu-ish, isn't it? The sacred cow. Weird fall, but I do love the colours. This deck is very weird. It's very trippy. We've got these kind of I can't get the words out today. I'm not even going to try. I can say that word so easily normally, and I've got a camera pointing at me. It's anthropomorphic, isn't it? Anthropomorphic. You all know what I'm trying to say, but look at the symbols. We've got the crescent moon. It's got a face in it. Beautiful wise owl. Tell you you'd like this deck, our Becca. She likes colours and she likes animals. Here's our Empress. Deck title again, please. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, but it's the Deck of the Three Gods in English. And if you do type that into places like Amazon, it does come up with it. But the title, I'll have a go, but I'm not doing too great with language, spoken language today. I go to my Amazon orders. It is called, click on it. Why aren't it giving me the title? So it's El Dios de los Tres, or Trey. Don't know if you'll be able to see that there. There you are. Tarot cards, El Dios de los Tres. But basically, Tarot of the Three Gods. I think the images are amazing. I think I only got halfway through Sandra's walkthrough and I was like, yes. Here's our Hierophant. I love that we've got the two kind of crustaceans there, lobsters. The Hierophant staff image is there, so we've got the symbolism. Looks very Lord of the Apes, doesn't it? Planet of the Apes. Kind of reminds me of Hanuman. But then we've got Egyptian themes in the back, look. Here's our lovers, our very pink lovers. And look. Well, you know, they might get some ideas. So detailed. It is, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Chris. Chris has put the link there. The Chariot, El Caro. It's not only detailed, but the colours. It's quite rare to see really bright, vivid, in some cases quite garish, but I like that. I don't have a deck like this. We have Ganesh as the hermit, which I love that. To have Ganesh as the hermit. Thank you, found it. Not finding it on Amazon US. Oh, wow. Try Book Depository, because that's free posting anywhere in the world, isn't it? Look at this world. Talking of, oh no, wheel, ignore me. Look at that. I don't know if anybody else gets their wheels and their worlds mixed up. Every time I'm doing a reading and I lay my cards out, I have to look twice because, I don't know, they're very different, but I tend to get them mixed up more than any others. Look at that for strength. Here's our Hanged Man. It's like Maya. I know you love Ganesh. So appropriate for the hermit here. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Here's our Death. And we have... Now, is that Kali? I'm not too familiar with all the Hindu deities, but I know Kali is very often associated with death and destruction. And with the tongue showing, what's the card stock like? Typical Fournier. I don't know if anybody else has got any. Yeah, looks like Kali. I don't know if anybody else has got any Fournier decks, but they are pretty nice. They're smooth, silky. There's a lot of flex in them. They're not the thickest card stock, but they're durable. They're not, you know, Llewellyn thin. Here's Temperance. Now, Temperance has male genitalia, breasts. So it's that sort of duality that we get with Temperance, that kind of, I suppose, two polar opposites, but there aren't necessarily polar opposites anymore with gender, is there? Because gender is a spectrum. But then with a spectrum, you're going to have polar ends. The Devil. I love this Devil. Look at that. And some Fournier decks can be really hit and miss. I went into a shop in Matlock, Bath, which is in the Derbyshire Peak District, last summer, and there were a few Fournier decks in there, and I just didn't like them at all. But I've got a couple of Marseille Fournier decks. The Tower. That's like probably Shiva. Tiny male genitalia. All right, Donna. The Star. See message at 1522. Oh, I've got lots of 1522s. Hey Simon, I watched your unboxing of the Tarot Vintage and immediately went to Book Depository to order after days after they issued a refund, as it's no longer available until August. Wow. I know that there are still a couple left on eBay because I checked. I'm going to be talking about it again in a minute. That's where I got mine from. But ours is pushed till July, I think. July 1st, maybe. But I have heard that in the States, it's August. Love the moon. Look at this love heart. I love the moon card. That is a butterfly. The sun. And then we have Judgment, which again is Sri Lord Ganesha. Look at those skeletons at the bottom. The trumpet with the rainbow colours coming from it. That's the whole spectrum. The little cherubims. Such an amazing card. And they're reaching up, look. Oh, love it, love it, love it. World. Beautiful. Really beautiful. It's quite symmetrical as well, if you've noticed, with the positioning of things. So it is now it's kind of pip, but there are illustrations as well, and they are color themed. So our pentacles have pink backgrounds, cups have blue backgrounds, swords have purple backgrounds, and the wands have a orangey red background to represent the elements. Or she said, I'm so glad I pre-ordered the Tarot Vintage and actually got it. I adore the deck. Me too. Me too. I'm having a real love affair with it. There's a few decks I'm having a love affair with at the moment. So here's our Ace of Pentacles. And it's the only one that doesn't have the pink colour background. So we have the two. So you see how they are a little pippish, but there's also illustration in there. And aren't the colours just wonderful? Hey, Chris, nice to see you. So these all have the pinks. Look at that. Tarot of the Abyss, that's out 1st of July here as well. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm resisting watching people's walkthroughs because even though I was in the group, the Facebook group, Anna's group, I kind of want some surprises because I've forgotten some of the images. Nine. Yeah, so things like Tarot Vintage, it's really unusual that we get them before other places because UK is normally, or UK and Europe is normally last to get things. And this is where we now have like the Egyptian themes as well. We have a unicorn, the Knight of Pentacles. There we have the goddess Bast in the center there at the bottom. And then we go into cups. This is totally what happens to me every time I go to the website. Did you get Wizards Laird? And then these have this beautiful deep blue, which really sets off. I love this as well. And because it's water, we get these beautiful koi, these ornate cups. This is beautiful. You like it? And it's not expensive. You know, Fournier decks aren't expensive. They're less than £20. I think I paid 19 something for this. I know places like Amazon, the prices fluctuate. And what happens here with the titles now, you get the Spanish at the top and the English at the bottom. So we've got a Japanese, again, theme here. This is a Tamani Neko, which is the beckoning cat. Even though the paw goes that way, it's still beckoning. So Tamani Neko is the white one. I know the Chinese tradition have a gold beckoning cat, and I can't remember what they're called, but the white ones are the ones I used to collect years ago. And there's some serpents there, some snakes. Look, that's for you, Chris. Spider. Show that. What's that one? I'm waiting on Anna's Oracle of Echoes this week. Oh, yeah, she's reprinted it, hasn't she? I've got the original. I used to have 2 copies. I gifted one. But I've got the original Oracle of Echoes. There's just so many decks at the minute that I want to get that you just have to pace yourself, don't you, and prioritize what you need. And that's kind of like, yes, it's a nice to have, but I've already got Oracle of Echoes, so there are other decks ahead of that I don't have that I really want to get. Our Queen and the King and Queen really complement each other in these decks as well, in this deck. And then we have our Swords, which has a beautiful purple background. I love the 2 of Swords. Look at that. Those 2 faces kind of, but you don't know where one ends and the other begins. We've got the yin and yang symbol. Oof, that Knave of Cups seems happy. What did I miss? There's a lobster in it again as well. Just shows how innocent I am. I'm chatting away, showing the cards, and I didn't even pick up on that. What's wrong with me? Love a large zucchini. Lobster. Simon, did you back the... I didn't. No, I didn't. The only Kickstarters I've got backed at the moment, because I backed like 8 last year, is Moon Babies, our Brant's Tarot, Moon Baby Tarot. I've got 2 copies of that coming. And then I backed the Refine and Play. So I don't know if you remember the Divine and Play, which is a tarot card and playing card deck. Well, he's altered it because some of the feedback I gave as well and talked about was that the pips were blocking out a lot of the images. So he's done it again. He's refined it, hence Refine and Play. And they're more transparent, so it doesn't take away from the imagery underneath. But also, you could add on an RWS deck that is done, which is taking it back to these beautiful colours, very basic colours, like really soft tones. It reminds me of like the DeLawrence. So I added that as well. Look at these. Isn't it gorgeous? Our Queen and King. But Simon, I backed his new campaign, just got the neutral vibe. That's it, neutral vibes. Yeah, and it didn't look like he was going to make it, did it? With 40 hours to go, which was the last time I checked, 40 hours to go, he still hadn't crossed the line, but he was really close. And then I got the email yesterday saying, phew, we did it. You know, it was like in the 11th hour, we did it. So I was so pleased. So now we've got this kind of orangey red for our wands. 5 of wands. Reminds me of the Gypsy Palace Tarot. I love that. Although it does look like they're going to tear each other apart, but that's nature. These colours are so 70s. Yeah. Look at that. And then King and Queen. So there you have it. What do you think? I think I still will edge it in pink. Oh, it's so tiny. Look, my hand's next to it. It's really tiny, but it's cool. So let's pop that back for now. So that got me thinking about, because I ordered this thinking this would be a lovely deck for summer with the summer colours and things. And then I started to think about the decks that I've got that I want to work with more. So ones that, either been sent or I've bought. And you know what it's like, we can acquire quite a few decks in a short space of time because there's so many coming out, we want to get them, that we don't always allow ourselves the time to really work with a deck. We might use it for a week or two, and then another deck comes in and we play with that. And sometimes they can just kind of sit waiting. So I went through my collection and I thought, what I'm going to do, because I've got lots of shelves here in front of me where I sit here at my desk, I'm going to pull out some decks that I'm going to work with over the summer. So I know we're already just over a week into, almost 2 weeks now, aren't we, into June, but for the remainder of June, July and August. And I thought I would share them with you.
It's Sunday, the 13th of June, 2021.
Thank you for that, Siri. My watch is telling me what the date is today. But I also got this. I don't know if you've seen, the little rock pool decks. I've got so many of these now. I must have about 15 or so. But I was gifted by the lovely Amber Highland, who is the editor of the Cartomancer magazine. She gifted me a couple of magazines. So the March to May, and now the May to July. Is it May to August? August, probably, yeah, probably August, 3 months. And in there was an advertisement for Rockpool decks. And I've never seen this one before, and it's called Wishcraft. The magic starts here. And it's Stacey DeMarco. And I really like Stacey DeMarco, but I didn't know about this deck. So at the end, if you want, because I don't want to be on for ages, but if you want, at the end, I will do a quick, not necessarily a walkthrough, but I'll show you some of the cards so you can have a look. So the decks that I'm going to be working with through summer, and if you want to share yours as well. Let us know what you're using. So firstly, a couple of decks that I've acquired this week. And because I've acquired them this week and I've fallen instantly in love, these are the first two that I'm going to be working with. And I'm not going to spend long on these cards because I've only just put walkthroughs up. So do have a look. But the first one is the Fortuna Tarot, which I showed yesterday. So I appreciate not everybody might have had a chance to have a look at it yet. But the lovely Maria sent me both versions, the Amethyst Aura and the Emerald Anima editions, with this lovely satchel as well. Now this is a faux suede. It's vegan friendly. I forgot to mention that when I did the walkthrough, but it's gorgeous because it wraps around, and on the inside you've got enough for a little book as well. But if you didn't see this walkthrough yesterday, it blew me away. It's a really thick deck. It's edged in amethyst purple. These are the backs, which are just so beautiful. And it's like no other tarot deck I've got. It brings in astrology, it brings in the elements, it brings in alchemy, and she really sat and thought about each image and how to depict them. Now, I sat before I went live and I've put all my decks into order with the exception of two because I ran out of time and I just thought we'll just have to go with it. I'm not going to show them all, but here we have the High Priestess. Now this is the Amethyst Aura. So the Amethyst Aura is like silver with this kind of I forget what you call it now, but where you get all the colours shimmering through. Whereas the Emerald Anima is emerald colour with gold, and both are beautiful. And the symbols are there, so you could still read with this. You've got the Hermit's cross keys, you've got the Hermit's staff there, but you also have astrological associations. It's our lovers. Let's show you the Hanged One, which is actually the Ankh. We have alchemy for temperance. Iridescent, yeah, the Devil. And I'm just like, wow, the quality of all of her products. I have the Astro Soul Oracle that she sent last year, and they're just top notch. The thickness and quality of them are just wonderful. So this is definitely one that's going to be used a lot over the summer. What is the name of the deck? Sorry, I missed it. That's all right, Elaine. It's the Fortuna Tarot. There are two versions: the Amethyst Aura, which is this version, and then there's the Emerald Anima. And I think I'm going to get more of these pouches because I really like the size of this, and I think it's only £25. She's based in the UK, so shipping is not a lot, and £25 for a pouch of this quality that takes a really nice thick deck and a book, I think is really good. The second, because I've got about 8 decks that I've pulled out to work with over the summer, is the one we've just been talking about, which is Tarot Vintage. I've just ordered today a Winsor & Newton Sharpie. I wanted something like the Timothy. I'm no good with ink pads. I've tried it once. It was a disaster. But the Timothy Holt used to do a vintage paper, which would have been perfect for this deck because it is this kind of vintage muted colours. And I think the vintage paper would have finished the edges off lovely. But I couldn't get it. So I went with Winsor & Newton. And I got cinnamon because the cinnamon colour is a very pale brown, and I thought it would have a similar effect. I cannot tell you how much I have fallen for this deck. It is going to be, I've got one other RWS deck that I'm going to be using over the summer, but this is going to be my RWS of choice for the next few months. I love this kind of peachy orange as a primary colour through. Well, it's not primary, but primary as in the main colour throughout the deck. You can see it here on the saddle, on the death card, the wings on temperance, the wings on the devil, the accessories on garments, and it's amazing. And the card stock for Lo Scarabeo is really, really nice. It's really good quality. It feels like it's a US Games type deck, but they stick with the traditional as well. So where it needs to be like blue, you get a lovely color blue there, and the green stands out. But then with our Hierophant, we're back to that color. But I love it. I really, really love this deck. And the staining isn't overdone. Staining is there, but you know, sometimes it can be too heavy. And people have said before, it looks like, you know, it's been in a room with 100 people smoking around it for a decade. Or, you know, someone spilt a mug of tea all over it. It's just the right amount. So this caught me off guard because I ordered it thinking, well, okay, let's see what those Scarabeo are doing now with their vintage, because the RWS vintage ones with US games and things are quite en vogue at the moment. And I was really impressed. I love these colours. Stephanie, they're brilliant, aren't they? It's really, really nice. Bye, Nancy. Going to spend time with hubby. He's feeling awful today. Oh, well, I hope he feels better soon. So those two are ones that are very recent, but I'm not prepared to put on the shelf just yet. I want to work with them going forward. Susie is saying thank you, who's in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. I'm not quite sure what for, but you're welcome, Susie. Another one that I've pulled off is Ethereal Visions. Now, this is the Kickstarter version, not the mass-produced US Games version. It's still got the number, and it's right near towards the end. But the creator, Matt Hughes, sent me this a few years ago, probably about 3 years ago now, back in 2018. And I haven't used it a great deal, to be honest. Do you remember when I had the wall display with the slats where I put all the cards out? I had it on there for a couple of months. And when the sun caught these cards, they look really beautiful. It's Art Nouveau in style, but for me, it's so summery. It is so light. I really, really like this deck. Now, there is a second edition, either just been released or about to be released. And I know some of the cards have been changed and it is more diverse, which, you know, big thumbs up. But again, it is one I'll probably get at some point, but I can't justify getting it ahead of others whilst I've already got this deck. I did have the US Games mass-produced version as well, and there's absolutely no difference at all, because Matt Hughes ended up going to US Games to have his cards printed because there was a delay with the printer and US Games were wanting to release, and he wanted to fulfill the Kickstarter first, so he went to US Games to print them, and that's why they are identical in quality. So I gave my US Games version to Sandra, or traded, one of the two. Look how beautiful that is. And the devil. So I don't know if anybody else has got Ethereal Visions or if you use it much, but it's certainly one that I'm going to be using over summer. Hi, Viola. I usually miss all the lives. Well, it's nice to see you. And hello, Melanie from North Carolina. I've got Carolina now playing in my head. Oh, Carolina. Jump across. If I drink too much water, I'll be needing to take a loo break. So that's Ethereal Visions. The next one is the Painted Tarot. Now, I got this around Christmas time, and I took it out of its box and I did a walkthrough and I oohed and ahed and I said how beautiful it was. It is a tuck box, but it has that fold down so you can pull the cards out really easily. And then I remember thinking, right in the middle of winter, that this deck probably would be better to use in summer. And then I never really thought about it again until I was going through them and I saw it and I was like, of course, Painted Tarot. I said I wanted to Facebook user. I use Ethereal US Games deck often. Hope Matt releases the latest astrology deck mass market. Yeah. So this is beautiful. These are the backs, which is a photograph actually taken of the floor in the artist studio with all these paint drops and splashes. But it is so gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous deck. It's kind of like an oracle size. That's okay. Nice to see you, Gypsy Heart. And I really, really like this deck. But it did feel very summery when I was in the midst of winter. And isn't it funny? Because we can read any deck, can't we, if we're honest, at any time of the year. But we do tend to categorize, or I do at least, I can't speak for others, but I've heard a few people say it. We do tend to categorize decks and think, oh yeah, that's very much a winter deck, or that's a Samhain deck, or this will be great at Yule and Christmas time. You know, and some creators have tapped into that. If you think of tarot collectibles with their winter weight and things like that, then, you know, there's obviously a market there. We do love our seasonal themes. We do. So yeah, so this is the painted tarot, and I really like it, but I haven't had chance really to work with it. There are all the king cards are in black and white as well. It's coupled together there for some odd reason. But yeah, painted tarot is gorgeous. Hi, Antoinette. Nice to see you. So that's another one that I want to work with. I like the Lonely Dreamer for summer. Yeah, that's the Odilin Radon deck, isn't it? Hi, Amanda. So the Painted Tarot, and that is by Sophie McKay Knight. Now, here's a deck that divides opinions. Back to not being able to speak again. I love it so much, I had to get both sizes, both editions, but it's the Luminous Void. And I know some people are like, oh no, it's like a 2-year-old just drawing it. I just love it. Everything about it. This was the first, with the exception of the True Black Tarot, even though when this came out, True Black hadn't been released. Arthur Wang from True Black Tarot contacted me 13 months before it was released and asked if he could send me some prototype cards. And that was the first time I'd ever felt rose petal. And he said, there are no rose petal decks out there, and I'm rushing because I want to be the first. And I felt a little bit sorry for him because this came out a few months before his deck did, and it is rose petal. It's got this unusual shape, so it's kind of like an oblong, which is unusual. These are the backs, which are gorgeous, and it has a matte gold gilding for the edges, and there are little sparkly bits. I don't know if that's picking up. Can you see the little sparkly bits? But I really love the watercolor in this. I think it's just beautiful. This is the shuffle size. There's not that great a difference with the full size, actually. This is the the moon card? Yeah, the moon card from the regular size. Now, when you compare that to a standard tarot, well, we can only really do it from lining the base up, can't we? You can see the size difference. The base is lined up. So they are quite large. So she released a shuffle size. So again, lining the edges. You'll see the size difference there between the shuffle size and the full size. The full size I obviously got first. And it was when I was up in Edinburgh, staying with Elaine McCrow. She said, have you seen it? And I'd never seen it before. And she says, tell me what you think. And I said, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I said, if when I get back from my travels, I've got enough money left, I will treat myself to it. And I did. I kind of made sure I did. Because I was going around, I was thinking, I'm not going to spend too much because I want to get the Luminous Void. But I think it's a beautiful deck. It's different. And again, I'm about having things that are different, he says, with 40 different variations of the RWS, but with the exception of that. And you know, people were like, well, it kind of looks like a child's drawn it. So what? So does that deck I keep going on about that I haven't got. Jackie, what was we on about? You got it for Mother's Day last year. I can't think what it's called. Reminds me of the Happy Tarot. It's by the same printer that's done Pagan Other Worlds and Carnival at the End of the World. But look at the sun. Look how beautiful the colours are. Now I want an egg roll. You get yourself an egg roll, Robin. Playful heart. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, you know, you could argue, well, that looks like children drawing it, but I think it's just the simplistic art style. But I really like it. Four of Wands. That reminds me, there used to be a program in the UK when I was a kid called Play School. It was like, here's a house, and all that, and it would say windows 1, 2, 3, 4. Knock on the door. What's the day? It's Tuesday. So yeah, this is one that I'm going to dig out again because it has been a couple of years since I've played with this. And if Chris is still here, let's see what you make of this card for our Ace of Cups. Maybe I should start with the bottom and work my way up. Oh, we're so childish, aren't we? I like the Five of Cups. I like the colours. Nine of Discs is beautiful. Oh, and look at the King of Discs. Yeah, I think our Chris has gone. Look at the Devil. See, the Devil is done right, done well, and a child wouldn't have done that. It's like the old kind of Marseille ones with the face and the stomach. Oh, I'm still here. I can't imagine why that made you think of me, Simon. Because you spot things like that. This one is really weird. The people who said, but that High Priestess is really weird. It is really weird. It's really weird. But then I like weird. I can't deny. I'll show you the Hermit. That's what I was looking for. Look at his cloak. Coat of many colours. So yeah, so Luminous Void is definitely one that I'm going to dig out again. Who could possibly miss the huge dong floating above the cup? It was probably you that noticed it a few years back. I know somebody did. Weird is my life, says Scott. So yeah, Luminous Void Tarot, created by Laura Zeuspan. Really, I really recommend it. One that's in this lovely Kelly pouch. This, everybody knows it. It is the Light Seers Tarot. I had to put this back in order today. This is the indie version, and again, it is one that I wanted so bad sat up half the night waiting to get it and everything else. Got it, worked with it to death. Got the mass market as a backup, and then I've got to say, I mean, Chris and I did a walk. No, we didn't do a walkthrough of this one, did we? It was the Mary L we did a walkthrough on, but I know I've talked about this on a live with somebody. Again, it's one that I haven't worked with for a good year, and it's so great. And for some reason, it does give me summer vibes. Now that could be because of when it was released, because I saw it on Kelly the Truth in Stories channel, and I've never seen it. I missed the Kickstarter campaign. I've never seen it before. And I remember saying to her in the comments, this is the first time I think I've ever, with the exception of RWS, seen a tarot deck where I've actually loved every single card. And I had to get it. And then when I heard that Chris Ann was doing a kind of final sale, and it was going to be somewhere between midnight and this, that, and the other, I just had to stay awake. I have Lights Ears out for summer as well. For me, it's the lovely warm colours. Yes, I agree. And you know, they are dressed for summer as well in a lot of. I mean, look at that for the devil. It's Devil Week in the Hermit's Cave this week. Well, it ends today. And I debated on putting this devil in. It was between this and Sasarabito. And I thought, well, actually, I think a few people will probably put this in as their favourite devil card. So I went with this Sasarabito one. Me, you, and Richard all did this on the last Quarren stream. I knew we'd done something where we was talking about this deck, but then it was you and I who did Mary L, wasn't it? I mean, look at the sun card as well. How beautiful and summery is that card? Her skirt. So yeah, look at the Three of Cups. The plough. I love it. I'll show you the Eight of Cups. So yeah, so Lights Ears is one that's going on the shelf here on my desk to work with over summer, because it's not a deck that I just want, because it was so hard to get it. It's not, and Kelly made me the perfect pouch for it. It's not a deck that I just want to, that I used for a long time and then never really used again. It is one of the greats. It's a modern day classic, isn't it, already? So I still want to keep using it. Two more to go, and then an Oracle deck that I wanted to mention. Let's just have a sup of coffee before it goes cold. How are we for time? Oh, we're just over the hour. A Girl Can Dream. That's my devil. Lunar Sol. Ultimate summer deck for me. I've just filmed this morning a walkthrough of the Cosmic Slumber colouring book, because Luminous 11 did a colouring book for Modern Witch, and now they've just done one for Cosmic Slumber, which is being released on the 15th, so 2 days time. I hope they do one for the Lunar Sol, because I'm not a colourer, as I said in the walkthrough, but these colouring books are so much more than colouring books. They are a guidebook, they are a journal, they've got information on the symbols used. They're just great. So these decks now from Lunar Sol all come with these nice hardback magnetic bottom hard boxes. Lunar Sol was, I think, their first deck. It was certainly the first deck that I got of theirs, and it's how I kind of found out about them. And I did a walkthrough of Lunar Sol, and I trimmed it. It was one of the first decks that I trimmed. And Liminal 11 contacted me to see if I'd become a reviewer for them, which was really nice. And then, of course, they've sent me this version, I'm really hoping there's going to be a colouring book of this. The cardstock is matte now, whereas the first one was shiny, but it is proper matte. And just the colour palettes, the soft pastels, it just feels so summery. It's wonderful in its diversity, and that is something that is close to their heart, to have proper representation. I love the Lover's card. I have a good colouring book, La Crystal Unicorn Tarot. Oh wow. And the detail in the Lunar Soul. I like all of their products, all of them. I haven't had one of theirs yet where I've not received White Newman yet, but from what I've seen, I know I'll like it. But Lunar Soul, I think, has to be my favourite so far from the creators at Liminal 11. I just think it is so wonderful. Okay, bye, Stephanie. Strength. I love the Death card. Temperance. Look at the Devil. It's like Pan in the woods. We have Star. And these cards are so much thicker, and with them being matte, they're just gorgeous. I'll show you the World. Perhaps the Aces. That's the Ace of Wands. They are RWS-ish, so they are scenic. They're not what we'd call pips, just because I'm showing you the Aces. Where's the Swords? They're so thick, you think you've taken more than one. Look how beautiful that is. The colour palette is lovely. It really is. I have the colouring book. They are wonderful. I also brought the Soul Colour watercolour book for my daughter from them. It's great. She loves it. Oh, wow. Not seen that one. So, the other, when I showed you Tarot Vintage, and I said that it was one of two RWSs, I went with an RWS deck that, again, I acquired, and after the initial sort of walkthrough and demonstration of it, didn't really work with it again. And it's by Tarot Collectibles. Now, as I mentioned, the winter weight is great for winter. So I suppose a lot of people would think, well, the tripping weight, which is about the summer of love, would be a natural choice for summer, and this one probably wouldn't be. But I've gone with the Black Light Tarot because, and I did get some comments about people saying, well, maybe it's a little bit gimmicky because, you know, we might not have black lights, or yeah, they might work great in clubs and things. But this deck is wonderful, even without putting it under a UV light. It really is. And yes, I could pull out Tripping Weight or Groovy Weight for that matter, and work with it during summer. But I haven't had chance to really bond with this deck. As I said, I did the walkthrough. I've got a black light, although I can't think where I put it now. It used to hang on a hook. But anyway, the colours in this are just wonderful. I ought to really turn my ring light off because it's showing a completely different colour with having the light on. We'll just have to live with that. But you can see all the beautiful colours. And for me, it's so summery. Look at the back as well. It's very trippy, isn't it, with that melting and dripping. Kind of reminds me of Oliver Hibbard a bit. So yeah, for me, this is very much a summary deck and fun, you know. The Ace of Wands is holding a cobra. Yeah, the ring light that I've got on is kind of saturating the dark kind of neon colours that you get with this deck. It's 11-11 here. So, yeah, Blacklight Tarot by Tarot Collectibles is also one that I'm going to have out for summer. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 decks, tarot decks. I'm going to, for me, Oracle, this is my favorite deck that I own. Oh, wow, Scott. I have been using, as you know, the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle after using, which is my favorite Oracle, the Moonlight Oracle, which is the symbols from the RWS Tarot. But this, for me, is an autumn-winter deck with its autumnal colours and things like that. But what I've really enjoyed doing is pulling oracle cards that are very simple with keywords. And I was gifted a deck probably late last year, I think. So this is going to have to go back in the box and into my little Deviant Moon cubby. It was sent by the creator, Gillian C. Wilde. She sent it to me and I loved it and I used it and I put it in this Baba Studios Moon bag because it fitted the book as well. And it is one that you probably need the book for because, you know, we can learn the system of tarot, can't we? We can learn what the major arcana represents, you know, and if you're into astrology, Kabbalah, the Hebrew alphabet, astrology, you can allay all that on as well. So you learn the structure and the system. But with an oracle deck, that's completely different because each oracle deck is its own kind of structure and system. So I always kind of have the little books. So this is the Iniquities of Magic Oracle. And it, as I said, it's by Gillian C. Wilde, who did the Naked Heart. And I really love this. It says volume 1. So I'm hoping that they're going to, that's just going to, I woke up today, Simon. Oh, I woke up to Simon today. I'm hoping that there's going to be more that's added to this. But these are the backs, which kind of remind me a little bit of Dark Mansion Tarot. I love that oracle. Yeah, me too. And it's a similar size. And yes, it has got the kind of staining, but it feels more summery. And I wanted something in the similar vein to the Pocket Oracle. And I really like this. So you just get a keyword, pathway, staff, you have bird, castle. So I thought this might be nice just as, because I tend to use oracle cards as clarifying cards, or if I'm in a bit of a rush, I will pull an oracle card and I'll ponder on its message and meaning. Look at the artwork. Isn't it gorgeous? We have blindfold. Tulips. And the great thing about this is a lot of them as well link to the tarot. So like we've got here, pomegranate. And when you go to the book for pomegranate, it will say links to High Priestess, and then you have other things like the star and stuff like that. Rose will link to the death card. And yeah, so I really like it. We've got a wreath. How pretty that is. Summer decks to consult while wearing a thong on the beach. Robin, you come out with the most random things sometimes. So, let's pull one. Let's have our... I always end with a card pull. This will test me. I can always look at the book. Jackie Jacaranda already had my morning breakfast. Honey roasted Peter Pan. What are you all on about? Everyone says that about the backs, do they? It's true though, isn't it? All right, let's put it. Oh my God, what is it with lobsters today? It seems to be the theme of this live. Lobsters come up so many times with the other decks and things. Like even the card that Chris noticed had a lobster there. I suppose, I mean, the lobster links to the moon card in the tarot, doesn't it? But I suppose with the lobster, our message is that maybe we are outgrowing our shell, and therefore we need to dig deep, really get to the heart of what it is we want, casting aside any sort of illusions or half-truths or not being able to see things clearly. Really focus by going within about what we want to see. And when we feel that we are ready to move on, then, you know, we should shed that no longer serves us. Just like the lobster will shed its shell and move off anew, refreshed, invigorated, having cast aside that no longer. Because I think sometimes we wear a shell for protection, don't we? And we have to think about, well, what is it that we're protecting ourselves from? And is there work that we can do so that when we cast off that no longer serves us, we can move forward safe in the knowledge that we've done the work and we don't necessarily need that protective shell? Or perhaps we need a new coat of armor, a new shell to go forward in a new direction. Rock lobster. Don't put the B-52s in my head, please. So yeah, cast off what no longer serves you, having dug deep and find out what it is, what our values are, where we want to go, and then move in a new direction with new protections in place. So, Antiquities of Magic Oracle. It's my new Mildred Payne, and I'm going to use this throughout the summer. I know I've only chose one oracle, but I'm not that big when it comes to oracles. So it will do for me. Anything else then before I say goodbye? Or just feeling crabby? It's a lobster. Robin, a lobster. I know it's a crustacean, but wow, I haven't heard that song for a day or two. Rock Lobster. I used to have the double-sided single. On one side, it was Planet Claire. She came from Planet Claire. And then the other side was Rock Lobster. Rock Lobster. Dum 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 da 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 dum. Please post a flip through of the Little Wish deck. Oh, of course, the Little Wish deck. Okay, what time is it? I'll do this quick then. So this is what I showed. That it only came this afternoon, literally an hour before going live. My intercom went off, and it was Amazon down in the basement. Let us up. So I let them up, and they dropped off this little rock pool deck. And as I said, I've got many of these. The latest one, apart from this one, that I showed about 2 weeks ago is Forest Fae. I really like this one as well. So these are kind of like affirmation type cards, more so I think than perhaps traditional oracle, but this is nice. It's got the gold shimmery metallic letters. Simon, you're singing it, dum, 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 and then it'll be in my head. So it's got some little words on the inside. How to use the cards. We all love to make wishes. There are 40 cards with magic words to say out loud to encourage you on one side. To encourage you on one side. There are 40 cards with magic words to say out loud to encourage you on one side. Okay. Oh, read ahead, Simon. On the other side of, on one side of the card. Oh my goodness. Do I leave this live up afterwards? On the other side is an image to inspire your wishes. Right. We'll do that bit again. We all love to make wishes. There are 40 cards with magic words to say out loud to encourage you on one side. On the other side is an image to inspire your wishes. Now Scott's doing Grooves in the Heart. I wouldn't have thought that would have been a big song in the States. The thrills that you spill. Oh no, stop. Okay, so we have like images here, these little bottles, and on the back it says, I can create magic anytime I wish. I can create magic anytime I wish. And there's some are like photographs. I am generous and loving. So yeah, they are affirmation type. I'm a good friend to myself and to others. All these friendship bracelets on here. How about that witchcraft deck? Can you still show that quickly? This is what that is. This is it. I am kind and can show others kindness. I'm not going to read them all because it will take forever. My wishes matter. The images are nice. Magic happens all the time of the year. That's true. Oh, we have the moon cycles here. That says, I love flowing through magical cycles. Oh, very fantasy art. I receive messages from nature easily. I am grounded and creative. I am made from the stuff of stars. Oh, I like this. I don't have to know everything all the time. That's true. Hi, Angie. We're just kind of finishing up. I'd forgotten. I was saying goodbye and I did my card pull and I forgot that I said I would show these cards. This is from the little deck Wishcraft, which is a little rock pool deck. The world loves me. From tiny things, big things can grow. Oh, beautiful fluorite crystals here. I am loved and protected. Oh, that looks like one of the dogs I walked this morning. Animals are my friends. I am kind and loving to them. Beginning something is exciting. This is very festive. Every day things get better. I'll show you the images, but I'm conscious I'm running over time. I am free to make my wishes come true. So these are okay, aren't they? If you just want to pull a little card, these are the sort of things, this type of deck with the affirmations and the pictures. These are the kind of ones that I place in a bowl by the door because I'm running low on them. I used to go to a centre called the Brahma Kumaris, and they used to give you little cards every time you went with a little affirmation on the picture. And I kept them all and I had them in a bowl. If somebody came and visited, as they were getting their shoes on by the door, got a bowl of crystals as well that aren't my tumbled stones. There's some carnelians and some opalites. I've got big bags of them. And they're in a bowl. There's 2 bowls by the door, the crystals and the affirmation cards. And I used to give people a crystal and an affirmation card to go. You know, not like repairmen or, you know, Tesco delivery drivers. I think they'll think I'm a bit strange passing them a card that says, I can give good things to myself and to others. They'd be like, okay, backing out. I have the confidence to be myself. And one of the keys. I do have a bowl for my keys. That's a big bowl. So I might actually give the, I know that sounds awful, just bought it, but I might actually give these away, pop them into packages, or pop them in the bowl as well so people can rummage around and take one. I am good. I'm a good leader. A crown there. Oh, I like that. That's a nice image. My wishes grow like a tree. Magic starts with me. Let me just show you what I mean. I've got my pajama bottoms on, I bet you can see now. So, this is my bowl by the door, which has the opalite crystals in and the carnelian crystals. I just end up getting a big bag. There's absolutely tons of them. There's more carnelian crystals in there than opalite, but people might just pop their hand in and take one. And then these are the little, the bowl with the little cards in. So it will say something like, it'll have a picture on the back like that, and it will say, loving, my heart radiates unconditional love for all of life. So it just has these little cards, or, you know, they're all different little cards. So they're right next to the door that people can take them as they go. So I think something like this would be nice to do that as well. All right. Anyway, it is dead on 4:30. So thank you for joining me for an impromptu live. I don't know when I'll be able to go live again. After the summer, things should have calmed down a bit, hopefully, touch wood. So Puppet Catching Cards will resume, hopefully, for September. But I will pop up whenever I've got something to say and there's a time slot. So thank you for being here. It's been lovely to connect with you all. If you're around later, don't forget it's Tarot Playdate. That's coming to an end soon. I think there's only about 6 or 7 left to go. It's hard to believe that we'd have had 78 weeks of doing Tarot Playdate, but that's at 6:30 my time, 1:30 New York time, and 10:30 Pacific time. So yeah, might see you there if you're there. And yeah, have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. Thanks for being here. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be. I wasn't prepared at all for that because I haven't got my outgoing video. See you later.